Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast from December 31st going into January 2nd. Hope everybody had a good New Year's Eve. I apologize. I could not send this out yesterday, but my power went out. So sending it out today. Okay, we're going to start off with natural gas. We've been bearish overall from $8.20, 0.8 up here. We've seen $6.68.6 so far to the downside. That is off hold. A lot of other different time frame calls in here I'm not going to get into. I warned in the post-market synopsis on December 5th that this went out warning of pressure. We came off $1.49.2 from the 528.90 close. A couple other bearish calls in here. Those were on hold. Those are now off hold. And then on December 23rd, we left a minor bullish reversal below. And then the trade above 396.60 to 670 brought in 209 ticks of the 140 ticks minimum we were looking for to the upside on the break up here. And then we fell back down through the line right here. And I said the failure back below where it came in at 396.50 now warrants pressure. So from 396.50, we have now come off to 367.90. And we also left a maintain gap lower on the day, which also happened to have left a minor bearish reversal above. Okay, and then in the crude oil, I'm not going to go over a lot of the higher, well, I will go over the higher time frame stuff because I haven't summarized that in a while. But on April 20th of 29th of 2020, we left the bullish reversal below. We saw $115.13 to the upside. A lot of other bullish calls in here, which are on hold. Then we got bearish at below 119.15. We've seen 64.03 of pressure. A lot of other lower time frame calls in here I won't go over. And then more recently, the trade back below 58.22 brought in $1.57 of pressure before short covering back up from the lows. That was a break below this line, came off to here, rallied back up, and we've been holding these lines. And now we broke below this formation right in here, which came in at 57.70 plus 1.2 per hour. That projects us downward $1.05 minimum, $2.25 plus maximum. If we break back above that line decently, that's going to warrant a decent strength. And that line is going to come in at 57.73 as of 6 o'clock p.m. January 1st. And a decent break above this formation right up here, which is going to come in at 58.29 minus 0.4 of a tick per hour. That will then project this upward $1.25 minimum, the maximum of $7 plus. And in the RBOB or unleaded gasoline, I warned of range expansion, which we saw on the day. Here, obviously, bigger than yesterday. On an overall basis, from May 5th, 2020, we left a significant bullish reversal below. We saw $3.44.98 to the upside from 87.62. A lot of other bullish calls in here. Then we held exhaustion up here at 432.6 and rolled over $2.66.03. Those are off hold. There's a lot of other bullish call, a lot of other calls in here. I'm not going to go over right now. Short term, the break below 174.13 brought in 3.66 cents in pressure down into here before bouncing. We also broke below this formation on Wednesday, but I did not suggest necessarily shorting below this. I just had a question mark on it, but it is bearish nonetheless. A further break below this line will be further bearish, and that's going to come in at 171.48 plus 1.2 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. January 1st. And a decent break below there will project this downward 3.3 cents minimum, 6.5 cents plus maximum. For a break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short covering to come in. Decent trade back above this line will warrant a decent strength. That's going to come in at 172.17 plus 2 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. I did not suggest shorting, leaning against that as a short, but if we do break above there decently, I would lean against it as a long. And then if we further break above this formation right here, which is going to come in at 173.85, minus 2.5 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That will warrant a decent strength for 5.2 cents minimum, 11.4 cents plus maximum. In the heating oil, we left a minor bearish reversal above on Wednesday. On an overall basis, the trade above 763.4 brought in $4 at 45.81 cents to the upside. A lot of other bullish calls in here. Those are all off hold. Then the trade, those are all, on hold. Then the trade below 422.11 brought in $2.28.38 to the downside. All other lower time frame calls in here, those are off hold. The bearish ones are anyway. And then more recently, the trade below 247.35, I said projects this downward 16.5 cents. We've seen 36.97 cents of that so far. A couple other those are on hold on a short-term basis, and then the trade above 213.44 brought in 14.18 cents of strength here, but now we've rolled over below where that entry would have been, and that is so I'm no longer going to mention that because we have left a minor bearish reversal above. If we leave a maintain gap higher on Friday, that'll leave a minor bullish reversal below. Also, if we take out this formation right here, which is going to come in at 216.51, minus 2.5 per hour, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. January 1st, that will project this upward 4 cents minimum, 11 cents plus maximum. Also, if we take out these lows down in here, at 210.54 to 32 and break back above / settle back above, that'll warn of short covering that will likely be decent. I may get jerked around a bit, but I'd be aware of how it settles. And then the Brent, we've seen $112.45 from the 29.43 close in July of 2020. A number of other bullish calls in here. Then the trade below 122.50 brought in $64.10 to the downside. A number of other bearish calls in here. Those are all off hold now. They were on hold. I'm not going to go into some of these lower time frame calls in here right now. But on December 26th, we left a minor bearish reversal above. We just broke below this formation right in here. at 60.93. Actually, by the time we broke below it, it was at 60.99. Bear with me 1 second, please. And that projects us downward $1.25 minimum, $2.10 plus maximum. If we break back above where that comes in at 61.01 plus one tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. At 8 o'clock p.m., excuse me. That'll warrant decent strength. If we further take out this formation above, which is going to come in at 61.88 minus 0.5 of a tick per hour, that'll project this upward $1.50 minimum, $7 plus maximum. And in the gas oil, we left a minor bearish reversal above on the day, warned about. In the gas oil, the trade above 309 brought in 1,067.25 strength, a number of other bullish calls in here, which are all on hold. Then the trade below 1,215 brought in 651 of pressure, warned about, a number of other bearish calls in here. Those are all off hold. I'm not going to get into some of the lower time frame calls in here. On a shorter term basis, we held exhaustion above at 805 and rolled over 200. A number of other bearish calls on here, which were on hold. Those are now off hold. The trade above 610.25 brought in 15.75 to the upside, but I will no longer mention that because we left a minor bearish reversal above. Decent trade below 611.20 plus 4 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. We'll project this downward $19 plus. If we break below there decently and back up through it decently, look for decent short covering to come in. Decent trade above 627.80 minus 6 per hour. That'll warrant a decent strength. And the cadence going into Friday is the heating oil is the weakest of the three, the RBOB in the middle, and the crude the strongest of the three relative to one another. Just want to take a quick look at some of these spreads with you real quick. I'm not going to make any commentaries. This is an important spread to keep an eye on right here. This is the RBOB to heat spread. That's coming in at 41.23 plus 2 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Decent break above there will warn of decent strength in his, and this is a traditionally bullish time for the RBOB to heat. The heat cracked, left a minor bearish reversal above on Friday. And I'll be aware of this line right above and the gas crack, which is going to come in at 140 at 1466. Minus 1 tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock. That'll warrant decent strength for at least 60 ticks. Okay, thank you for watching. Again, Happy New Year. Looking forward to the year ahead. Great markets to be trading right now, and looking forward to being a blessing to you and your revenue growth.